This is the National Briefing. My name is Kelly Nash. Happy to have you here. The Democrats are working their plan. I know it doesn't seem like they have a plan. When you look at the polling, it's a disaster for the Democrats, but they're working it. And if you're not aware of what the plan is, here it is. It's called chaos. If we can cause chaos and division in the United States, perhaps people will forget we're the ones who created it. And then perhaps the people, because we'll then have a solution to fix it, perhaps they'll put us back in power. We want the power. Our policies suck, according to the American people. They think their policies are great, but it's about 75, 80% of Americans think the Democrats suck. But what if it's really bad? Maybe they'll give us the power back. That's the basic gist of the plan for the Democrat Party at this point. And we're going to reveal one of the ways they're doing it with the National Guard in just a second. But when you think about the Democrats just in ICE, legal enforcement of, our borders, those types of things. One of the lies that they have told the American people now for decades is that it's our job as a Christian nation. By the way, I thought we weren't a Christian nation. I thought Barack Obama clarified that for us. But as a Christian nation, it's our job to accept anybody who will come here who has a sad lot in life. They live in a third world country and they want a better life for themselves. I remember even Jeb Bush trying to make this argument. Wouldn't you do the same? Wouldn't you try to get your child across the border to the United States? Well, Jeb, I might try it illegally, but I doubt it. I'd actually probably try legally to get him into the U.S. And that's the whole thing. Unlike most countries, we do have a legal path to citizenship here in the United States. It's not for everybody, but we do have a path so you can become a legal citizen. The benefits of being an American are monumental, and you are destroying it by watering it down with millions of illegals in this country. They're not all bad, the illegals, although there are, we had, 3 more car accidents yesterday? Another bunch of dead Americans brought on by illegal truck drivers and all kinds of chaos that they're bringing. Again, it's chaos. That's the goal of the Democrat Party. But at a bigger scale, when they start telling you your Christian values, they're not Christians, but they're going to tell you your Christian values. Well, let me tell you how Christian values are supposed to work for those of you who maybe are surface level Christians and or maybe not Christians, but you think that you've heard about the Christian philosophy. The first thing is you got to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Secondly, you love your spouse if you're married. Third, you love your family. And it's in this order. God is first. Jesus, and that is first. Second is your spouse. Third is your family. Fourth would be your neighbor. Who is my neighbor? That's when they try to get you. Well, what about the Good Samaritan story? We'll get back to that. By the way, the fifth one after your neighbor is your entire town, city, community, those types of things. 6 would be your state, 7 would be your country, then 8 would be the rest of the world. That's how it's supposed to be prioritized. The Democrats have reprioritized that for you so that the first ones you're supposed to love are the people who have crappy lives in third world countries. And that brings chaos. There's law and order. There's order in the law. Now, one of the things that brings order is the military. There's law enforcement, there's military enforcement. We have the National Guard, and Donald Trump, the President of the United States, has said federal installations and agents are not getting the support that they're supposed to be receiving at the state and local levels. So, as is his privilege, it's not even his privilege, he's actually required to call up the National Guard in order to protect the federal facilities and the federal agents. Last night on the CBS Evening News, the reporter here is Nicole Sganga. She is going to talk to a National Guard staff sergeant who is going to refuse orders.
Staff Sergeant Demi Palachek, she's also running for local office. She's a Latina. She told us she fears retribution from the Pentagon, but that it's too important not to speak up.
Running for office, you say? Latina. You left off part of, by the way, her name's not Demi. That's her nickname. Her real name is Demerica Palachek, which is the most Eastern European Latina name I've ever heard. Demerica Palachek identifies herself on her page as a member of the Illinois Veterans for Change, also proud, working class, queer, Hispanic, running for the Democrat candidacy for state representative in the 13th district. All right, so now we know who we're talking to. She likes to go by Demi. Will I identify her as Demi? No, I will call her Demerica. Demerica, probably in her Latina brother, probably working with her Boris. What if you were called up to serve your country and protect federal installations and federal agents in Chicago?
I would definitely say no.
Tell me why.
I'm not going to go against my community members, my family, and my culture.
What? You're not going to go against your community members. Okay, I guess that's code speak for the illegals in the community, but you're not going to go against your family? Is your family illegal? That doesn't line up because it says you were born in Edwardsville, Illinois. So you're not going against your family by enforcing federal law. And you're not going to go, who's the third one she was going to go against? I forgot. I already forgot. It was so stupid I've already forgotten the third one. But it doesn't make any sense. But that's the way a Democrat's mind would work. All right. Now, are there others in the military who feel the same way as you, Demerica?
So about 20,000 people in the military are undocumented or going through the green card process. Many of my soldiers are of the Hispanic community, and they did join to get themselves or their family documents.
Lies.
They are in sheer panic.
That is such a lie. And I feel bad that there's people who don't understand that. That there's people who are like, oh my gosh, these people are just trying to serve the United States they came across illegally, but then they said, is there a pathway to citizenship? Can I just join the military? Can I show that I want to be an American by serving in the military? And now I'm in the military and I'm an illegal. And what if ICE comes and arrests me in my barracks? The requirements for a non-citizen to join the U.S. military. She's not lying, by the way. There are about 20,000 serving. Non-citizens must be living permanently and legally in the United States. Non-citizens must also have permission to work in the United States. That's a permanent residence card. So they're fully documented. We completely know who these people are. They must have also obtained a high school diploma and speak English fluently. There's no broken English allowed for the non-citizens in the U.S. military. So she is completely lying about the situation. Now, back to your Christian values that they like to preach to us. We're getting, by the way, she's being led by a group called About Face Veterans, and they describe themselves as a group that was formed in 2004 as Iraq veterans against the war. They are buying billboards in front of military bases across the country, asking the question, is this what you signed up for, to deport fellow community members and that sort of thing? And when you go to how they're doing this, quote, this is on their page, aboutveterans.org, who we are building a movement of service members and veterans to tackle the root causes of war. They're going to end wars by transforming ourselves and our values and our American society. Again, this is the group that sounds like it's almost the Barack Obama speech. We're going to transform ourselves and our values. Do you want your values changed? Do you want your values to be, we're not America first? Do you want your values to be the goal of being the United States of America is to just feed the world? It's to just take care of the impoverished all over the planet. I would ask this group of veterans that want to transform our values, maybe what you should be focused on is taking care of your fellow veterans. That would be a great goal because the United States has not even done a great job of taking care of those people. How in the flip do you expect us to take care of billions of people around the world when we can't take care of the 3% of Americans who actually served in the military? What percentage of them are the ones that have become homeless? What percentage of them are the ones that are impoverished? Which ones of those have the mental health challenges? We got to work with that little group of people that we're failing before we can certainly start working with anybody else in Nicaragua or someplace like that, for God's sake.